Hello everyone, this is Sura. Today talking about how you can experience inner balance when there is chaos and drama and political drama that's happening around you. One of the greatest tools that meditation offers us is the practice of non-reactivity. When you take time to sit with your thoughts every day, you have a chance to start to examine your thoughts. And for those of us who don't meditate and don't have that distance from our own thoughts, what we'll tend to do is believe everything that we think. The more you start to just observe and notice your thought patterns, the more you start to realize how your own thoughts will cause you suffering. It's sort of like having a gun pointed against ourselves. We think it's out there that's happening, but it's really the thoughts come back inside here. So what meditation helps us do is create distance through observation and pause, where we can consciously practice non-reactivity. So the next time you find yourself getting hooked, wrapped around, all, tangled up because there's some chaos, some mess, something didn't happen the way you wanted it to, take that moment to consciously pause and just say, what would happen if I didn't react right now? What would happen? So it's consciously practicing non-reactivity. The moment you feel your energy getting like hooked and squeezed and contracted, just and stand back. This is what meditation helps us do. So here are a few coaching questions, and I just invite you, because I always love to help create mini shifts. I think it's about mini shifts, not about huge states of enlightenment. It's always like step by step, it's little by little. And they're many steps of realization. Oh goodness, I didn't realize I was doing it that way. And we take these mini steps. Sometimes we have like quantum leaps, but I love mini steps, just connecting to our breath. So just let's take a few breaths together, breathing in and then exhale, fully relaxing, letting go. And again, breathing in and exhaling, letting everything soften and open. The next time you feel triggered by a difficult event that's happening outside of you, taking that time to breathe, create a bit of space, consciously practice non-reactivity. And then you can ask yourself, what else is possible? What else is possible? So instead of getting trapped in something down here, we just take a moment to create some space and then see what else is possible. Maybe it's, I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy my meal right here, that's right in front of me. Or I'm going to go take a walk and take a break. And I'd love to answer your questions as well, because now it looks like I'm receiving chats. And I had a question, if I was in the woods, and yes, I am in the woods, somewhat deep into the woods. It's very beautiful. I call it the magic forest that's behind me. Yes, it's gorgeous. There's a lot of mossy patches around as well that are, huge rocks covered in moss. And the other day I decided to take a trek in the backwoods because I had gotten really lost one time, and it was nightfall, and it was quite a scary experience because I didn't have a compass and nobody knew where I was. But so what I did was I enlisted my friend to come hiking with me and explore the backwoods so that I could track where I was going with ribbons. And I discovered 2 lakes and an abandoned cottage and a huge peak overlooking all of southern Salt Springs. So it was just a real adventure. It was a magical find, and I was super happy. Do you have any other questions too? I'd love to be here to answer your questions and see what you're up to. What's at the top of your mind? So what I'm going to do is actually start another Periscope because I'm going to talk about a different subject. And the topic is, actually I might do 2 more Periscopes. So the next topic will be how to read the energy of the universe. And we can, many of you might be aware of psychic readings, which is really, I mean, we give it such a woo-woo name. It's just the ability to see clearly. This tends to happen for people that meditate for long periods of time. You tap into your inner knowing. So I'm going to talk about how to read blocking negative energies. Okay, I'll answer that on this Periscope. And then the other topic I'm going to talk about is guilt and what it means to avoid guilt, why guilt comes up. Guilt is related to shame. I think both guilt and shame are man-made emotions, really used to kind of control people and put people into a lower state of consciousness. So I'm just going to talk about that openly, because even I get also trapped by feelings of guilt. So I just notice when those feelings start to percolate, and just what I've been thinking about it lately that I'd like to share with you. So thanks so much for joining on this scope. I'm going to get on the next one. Oh, and blocking negative energies. So I would say the best way to deal with negative energy is, again, the practice of non-reactivity. Because negative energy is something that we perceive out there that comes into our field for a reason. And usually it's an opportunity to learn. So whenever we have a huge charge around something, like something really gets us amped up, it's a place where we need our own balance and healing. And it's not about self-projection. It's not about going, oh, look what's wrong with me because I get angry about this. And God, I should be at a different stage of my consciousness by now. It's like really easy to go into beating up mode. So it's really important to just say, okay, I'm noticing that, every time I see this person, there's like a lot of negativity that comes up. There's just so much negativity. It's like that person's a downer. They drain my energy. I feel really zapped. So then just being aware, saying, okay, I notice every time this happens, and I think it's a time to practice self-love. So instead of going into any sort of judgment about that person and you, going into a higher state of compassionate awareness for everybody. So it takes a little more effort to, have that state of compassionate awareness for everyone. But also saying, for me, what feels healthy is to limit my interaction with this person. Or what feels healthy for the situation is to be firm and set boundaries for myself and the other person. And boundaries made of love, of compassion, not boundaries of fear and rejection and negativity. We always feel those kind of boundaries, like, you're trying to shut somebody out. That's different. I think having a higher awareness and coming from a good place of intention, you can just create those boundaries for yourself and others. So, anytime there's a situation, usually we're being called to either become aware of something, act on something, do something different. So that could be expressing yourself and expressing what you need and what you want, or taking action, letting the other person know it's not okay for them to come into your space and be the way they are with you. I hope that helped answer your question, and I'll see you soon on the next scope. Thanks, guys.